You did not know you were getting 3 unhinged people
That's
today,
fine.
did
No,
you?
that's okay.
I'm usually not awake by this point in the day.
Oh
so.
no, that's okay. No, I've been up since 7:30 this morning, so
Jesus
it's okay.
wept.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I work in the shop in the morning and then come
Oh.
and. Yeah.
Are you getting credits for that? or?
Well, I'm getting paid.
Hey,
So-
hey. Now that's it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Random Banter podcast. My God, the camera is so far away. And the reason the camera is so far away is because I have 3 guests on this episode. Yeah, this is episode 81. And
I feel special.
yeah, I have 3 very wonderful guests on today. We've got Tammie, Beck, and Kenzie, all from West Virginia Public Theater's production of Waitress, which I am working on, and you should come see. There's a couple more days. It runs until this coming Sunday, the 15th. 15th? Yes, the 15th. So yeah, I think this is probably going to go up tomorrow, so there'll be still a couple more days to come and see it. So come and see it. Anyway, how are you guys doing today?
We're good.
Doing good? Great. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
But yeah, just like I mean, being in the crew has been very fun. Like watching you guys like through your process of like going from the rehearsal space into the actual theater, and like I was like I want to see if I can get some people on the podcast, because that'd be fun to chat with y'all. And obviously, I mean, I want to hear about Waitress, but still I want to hear about like you guys and like how you've got to the point where you are in your acting careers so far. So there's really I mean, since there's 3 of you, it really doesn't matter on since there's 3 of you, it really doesn't matter like what order you answer this stuff. Just chime in whenever. There's really no rhyme or reason. Okay. This is really unprofessional, but I'm
excited. Deep breaths.
I like how we like
so
like divorced parents on like a like couples therapy on different sides of the couch.
And I am the child.
Yeah, this is what it feels like.
Here for therapy.
This is Dr. Phil's.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So
are the father.
Real quick, with Waitress, like, is there anything that drew you guys to your specific roles? You know what? First, for the people that are listening to this and not watching, why don't we go around and say who's who?
So true.
Work, Angelica. work,
Eliza. And Peggy.
That's who we are. I'm Tammie.
I am Beck. It's early.
And I'm Kenzie.
Well, yeah. So Tammie, obviously you play Becky.
I do.
Beck, you play Dawn, and Kenzie, you play Jenna in the show Waitress. And what was something that like drew you into the character? Like, were you specifically gunning for that role when you auditioned, or was it just something that you caught on to like whenever you got the part and you finally got into the character?
Honestly, I heard the song first, and then the song is I Didn't Plan It, and I heard that song first, and someone told me that I should put this in my Broadway book or whatever, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll listen to it. And that's been a few years ago, and I listened to it and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can sing this. At that time, I had really no clue what the show was about.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the movie that it originated from, but after I heard the song, then, when you audition, sometimes you can get a hold of the script. And
nice.
I read through the show and I was like, oh, this seems cool, but I wasn't like, yeah, I gotta do this show until I actually watched the movie, which was a few years later. And I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And then I listened to the soundtrack and I was like, okay, maybe I should actually really, really try to pursue this role, because this show's a lot deeper than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And the role was funny, and I never get a chance to really be funny, and I'm hilarious.
Yeah, you are. You're so funny.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So That's my story. I'm
Fair,
sticking
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Oh God, I didn't do it.
Did I pull the mic out?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I feel like mine's a similar reason. I heard the song first of Dawn's song before knowing the show or what it's all about, and then I watched a illegal bootleg of the show. And I kind of fell in love with it. And I love Dawn too, just because she's a very socially awkward character who's never dated before, and that's kind of her character arc. But with all that, she's never self-deprecating or hates herself. Like, she's still incredibly confident in all her weird quirks and hobbies. And I just loved seeing that in writing, that we could have these women have flaws, but also not disparage themselves for their flaws. So I really love the material and how it works with that.
Yeah. No, I agree. But yeah, Kenzie, what about you?
When I saw the show, I wanted to be Cal, but
So real.
I couldn't be Cal. So.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, maybe I could be. No, but I actually reversed y'all. I saw the movie when I was a kid, when it came out in like 2007, and I remember like it was so dark and like dramatic but also funny, and I just really loved the story. And so then once I knew that there was a musical version of the movie, I was like, that'd be amazing. But honestly, I never thought that I would do Jenna. I thought maybe I would like understudy Jenna, but I really never thought that I would actually do the role. So I was like completely shocked when I got this role. And yeah, that was kind of my journey with it. Like, it was just more of like a far off, like kind of like dream role, more than something that I was like actively pursuing that role.
I feel that.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously for people who are listening to this that have never heard of Waitress or don't know anything about the plot of Waitress, well, Jenna, do you want to give a quick little I mean, since you are the waitress.
Yes.
The waitress.
Oh, yeah. Well, so basically, she is a young lady who
She's not old.
yeah, she's very young, but old enough to be married and old enough to be, okay. Hold on. I've never thought this hard before in my life. Hold on, wait, let's just restart it.
She's young.
She's young.
Okay, so we've got she's young.
Okay, she's beautiful.
relevant.
That's like the least important part. I don't know why I can't say anything else
She
but
likes
that.
to
Okay.
make pie.
She is from a small town.
Cool.
She's married. She
Sorry.
Shall we help?
No, this
Y'all
is
can help.
this is so important to me because I had a dream last night that for some reason in the middle of the run they told us all of a sudden that we were basing the show in Georgia and we all had to do like Georgia accents, and I was like, what? We're in the middle of the run. You can't do this to us. And I just remembered that, and I need you to know.
Oh, wow. I'm actually so glad you said that because that gave me some buffer time to think, and I've got it. So basically, Jenna is a small town girl living in a small town world, and she works at a pie shop, and she makes pies, and she is in an unhealthy relationship with a very mean man, and she gets pregante. And
Pegarotis?
and she basically ends up falling in love with her gynecologist. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's easy though, because he already knows everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's in there.
Like he's been there.
Like yeah. There's nothing to hide at that point. And
Sure ain't.
Yeah. and then she basically, the rest of the show is just her navigating this like tricky situation she's in between one, being pregnant and having feelings for her gynecologist, but also being married and like having big dreams for herself, but she wants out.
Does she want the baby?
No, not at first. No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She does not want
Tricky stuff.
It's very tricky situation, and I mean, there's like a lot of really heavy themes in the show, especially with like the abuse that Jenna suffers, and then like the mentioned abuse with her parental figures too.
Wait, but can I say something else?
Yeah, sure.
Stage right, Ethan. I'm going to stop you right there.
That's fine. That's
but
okay.
also, I do think it's important to say that like Jenna's story is, I guess, like it revolves around that. But I also think it like shows so many beautiful stories, and I think that that's why the show is so successful, because it like shows so many people in like a real way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you see so many of the characters and you're like, no, I know that person.
Yeah. So I guess like my question is with like some of those like different stories. I mean, I guess this is specifically directed at you, but you guys can answer as well. With some of the more like emotionally heavy scenes or like heavy themes, like how do you tend to tackle those? Like how do you tend to get in the headspace to tackle those without like damaging yourself? Yeah.
Over to you.
Honestly, I don't even have a deep answer for that.
That's fine.
Like,
That's okay. I mean, sometimes there is no
Just
answer
be
to
ballin'.
it.
You know?
Yeah.
Ballin' and ballin'.
Yeah.
You can quote me on that one.
No, you just. I was talking to 3 people in the cast last night, and I said something, and I was like, ooh, I'm so profound. But really, actually, I think I heard Viola Davis say this, honest to God, and it just came back to me in a different type of way. The only way that you can honestly portray any kind of story is being an observer of life. And not really being judgmental of people, which is hard to do. I don't care how, how accepting you are. Everybody's judgmental about something. And so in order to really portray characters like ours and the other characters in the show, you just have to be an observer of people. You have to be a lover of people, and you have to be willing to lay aside your judgment. And so when some of those tougher scenes come, whether you're talking about adultery, whether you're talking about, for instance, my character has a husband who is an invalid, and I have to take care of him. And, Beck has kind of told Dawn's story, like she's never dated, never had a relationship, and there's abuse in this story, and you just kind of have to be willing to lay aside your judgment and really just step into another world. That's acting for real. Like when you try to force an emotion or something like that, the people can see it.
Right.
And when you're kind of judging the character that you have to play or whatever, then you can't play it convincingly. So you just kind of have to. You have to find a way to fall in love with your character, even if they're messed up, because in a way, everybody is. And that's kind of how I approach it. Like, this is my character. This is Becky. Because she ends up having an affair with Cal, who is the cook at the diner. And I mean, her husband will probably never find out because I don't know if he's brain dead or not, but he can't do anything for himself. And it's just like, this is who she is. Player. Yeah. And find a way to make her human so that she doesn't come off as being such a horrible person for having an affair on her husband.
I
think that's kind of what we all got to do that.
No, I would agree.
No, I've heard something similar in the vein of, like, everyone's capable of horrible things in our life. So as actors, we have to, like, remember that and be able to justify when people do, like, not typically morally correct things, because we're all capable of it. And I feel like most people try to do good upon themselves and others. But everyone has the capability and has had moments in their life where they have made wrong choices and done bad things on purpose, et cetera, et cetera. And rather than pretending that we're not, like, we're above that, like, staying down to earth and staying true to the characters and ourselves and Honestly, though, I feel like Dawn doesn't have as many, like, dark secrets.
No, Dawn. Dawn's
I ride the wave that you bring, Kenzie, whenever you talk about your relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just ride on the waves of however you're feeling that day and react to you rather than...
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, y'all worded it beautifully. I would say, like, yeah, like, it's really cool to actually hear y'all's approaches, because I think we all do similar things, but, like, have slightly different approaches, like, or different words for it even. Like, I try to, like, yeah, empathize with my character a lot, and just, like, not just, like, step into their shoes, but, like, empathize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in their whole story, not just like the good parts of them, because that's what I would want, you know, someone to do for me.
Right.
So, yeah, I think y'all said it though.
Yeah. I think I don't remember what there was, like, some famous actor that said, like, you have to be like your character's lawyer or something like that to, like,
Ooh, I like
defend
that.
your character, especially
Yeah.
if, like, I mean, in like Earl's case, where like he's just
Yeah.
a pretty terrible person, but, like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing the character, you got to, like, defend it.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta justify it.
somehow. But on a different note, like, what are some challenges in playing this character in an 8-show week? Like, what are some, like, whether that's, like, physical, mental, different, like, hurdles you have to jump over for that? Just, yeah.
You start first this time.
What? Oh! I feel like for me, Dawn's song, When He Sees Me, at least this version of it, is very physically active.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing lots of lifts and things while I'm singing big notes. So I feel like for me, it's trying to make sure I always stay within a healthy place while doing these crazy things.
It's fair.
And
Yeah.
I feel like for everyone, I think we've all talked about how, like, this specific theater space, due to no one's fault, is very dry.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone has Pedialyte.
This
Everyone has.
building is very dry.
Yeah, it's a dry place. And everyone's got their nebulizers and their steamers. So I think we're all just, like, on the hydration mobile.
Okay. No, I get-
For
I get
sure.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine's more of a stamina run, I feel like.
I
for
mean,
me.
yeah, that's fair. Like, especially with all, like, again, like you said, with all the lifts. and
She's very
everything.
physically active. There's a lot of physical comedy for her character.
Yeah,
so
yeah, and singing while doing that
protecting
too.
my body and voice while I do it,
Yeah.
rather than, I feel like, not that Dawn's emotional journey isn't important, but I don't have to go to, like, a deep, dark place for it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I feel like for me, yeah, it's stamina. I've never done a role that's been this demanding, like, vocally, not just, like, singing wise, but, like, speaking and singing. And I'm learning so much about vocal health through the
Fair.
For those of y'all who don't know about Waitress, Jenna's character pretty much never leaves the stage.
Oh, yeah.
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 So she's always there.
Yeah,
So
you don't get a break.
and, like, when I'm not singing, I'm probably talking.
Yeah.
So I just learned so much about, like, vocal stamina and, like, yeah, hydration and, like, yeah, I can't sing down every single night the way that I would like to,
Yeah.
because you have to, like, pace yourself
Yeah.
so that you can get through the whole
Yeah.
the whole week.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think your one big break is, like, at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I-
sucks.
I personally, like, my favorite numbers are, like, Beck's numbers and Jack, who plays Ogie, because I get to just, like, smile and enjoy it.
You just nod and
and
agree.
nod.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, those are kind of some of the questions I had about Waitress, but now I want to hear about, like, you guys, like where you've come from, what you've done. Like, what was your guys' like first experience with, like, acting or on stage or something like that? Like, what was your like key experience to be like, oh, this is fun, I enjoy this?
You first.
Okay. I don't know.
you can't do that to her, Tammie.
You scared. I'm scared. I'm just. Okay, so yeah, my parents, they put me in theater when I was, like, really young. I think I did like a tiny little, like, kids theater camp
Yeah.
when I was, like, 4 or something, and I can't play sports, and so, like, yeah, I was so bad at sports, and my mom really wanted me to be in sports. Like, she put me in all the sports, but I just was so bad at them, and I just loved theater and the arts, and so I was like, I'll just do this, and like I've literally just been doing it
Nice.
since
Fair.
then. I just love it.
I feel like you could have been an epic softball player for some reason.
You know, I was in softball.
I knew it.
And we were the Pink Flamingos.
Yes.
But until we started Kid Pitch, and then once we started Kid Pitch, like when you're young, like so young. So when you're so young,
Oh, is it like the coach
the
pitches?
coach will pitch.
Oh, yep.
And then once you get to a certain age, the kids start pitching. And then I
Oh, and
started
then it
getting
goes
hit
downhill.
with the ball, and I'd have bruises all up and on my arm. And I remember like crying, running to first base, crying because I got to run because I got hit by the ball. Like apparently, if you get hit by the ball, you get to run.
Yeah.
I don't know sports.
That was me.
But I remember like crying, running to first base, looking at my mom, and my mom was like, "Keep going, baby, it's fine.
so
like
funny.
go sports."
That was me with soccer.
Go
Whenever I
sports.
goalied, I hated it so much because I'd
Yes.
always get hit in the stomach and be like, "Oh, I don't feel so
Yeah.
good." Oh, it's
I'll
funny.
stick with theater.
That's fair. Yeah.
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 I kind of started, I don't even think that I started this way, like started thinking that I would do theater or anything, but in the Black church, you always have to do a Christmas play, an Easter speech, and a Black history play. And people in the church would write them. And so those are three things, and I mean across all kinds of denominations in the Black church, those are three things that pretty much always happen. So we were always put up in front of people and made to speak, made to sing, made to dance. And I can remember, some of us didn't really like it at first, but I always loved it. And that's one thing that I feel like, not to go into a different direction, but I feel like that's one thing that's kind of missing in the church is presentations like those, because it helps build up children's self-esteem.
Yeah.
It helps
Yeah.
to, it can help with stage fright or just being in front of people in general.
Yeah, right.
Help you build up your confidence, and it's a way to like bring people together. And so I did that, throughout my whole childhood. But I think the play that made me think maybe I should try to do this professionally was Dreamgirls.
Oh.
That was Effie. She leaves the stage more than Jenna, but that role, you're singing on 10 the entire show.
Yeah.
And when I got through it, I was like, shit, I did it.
Yeah.
If I can do that, I can do anything.
Right. Yeah.
I can do anything.
I would
And
love to see you do that.
I'd do it again now that I know how to take better care of my voice. So
Fair. Yeah.
that kind of wrecked me, but I figured it out. So
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
that was me.
Yeah. Well.
My story. Okay, I was homeschooled K through 12.
Oh.
Okay. I was thankfully privileged enough to grow in a household where we could afford to do that, and my mom stayed home and taught us with her elementary education degree. Come on, Julie.
Yes.
So I started off going once a week. There was a school for all the homeschoolers to gather and do things
There
that
was a school for the
homeschoolers.
homeschoolers?
There was a school for the homeschoolers, believe it or not.
Huh.
Once a week on Fridays. From 8 to 3, we would gather and do things we couldn't do by ourselves, such as choir and gym and musical
You would go to
theater.
school.
I would go to school, but it was for homeschoolers, so we
course,
were
yeah.
all really awkward and trying to get socialized by our parents. But I did musical theater there for the first time when I was 11, and I did Little Alice in Alice in Wonderland Jr. And I had a little little speech thing when I was younger, so I couldn't say my THs until I was like 14.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just didn't figure it out, and then eventually I figured it out, apparently. And all of Little Alice's lines are, I'm only 3 inches tall, so of course I'm on stage like, I'm 3 inches tall, I'm 3 inches tall.
I would have loved to see that.
And I've never gone back since.
That's
Fair.
right.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, especially with like getting into different characters, because you've all had plenty of work and plenty of things that you've done in different shows. Like, what do you guys have any like specific like rituals that you do to like get into a character? Like, is there something that something? Oh, wait,
Oh yeah, we go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's what we
Take
do.
breaths. Well, I thought we were gonna do the
before we do
yeah,
a
we
show,
do
the three of us
this.
do
Oh,
a little
yeah, I've seen you guys do
hand
that.
connection
Yes,
just
connect.
to check in before
just to
we
like
go.
lock in before you go into the show.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always good to have.
And we scream.
yeah.
That
I
is
have
just fun.
a playlist that I feel like of music that I think Jenna would listen to, that I listen to before the show.
Do you
I
always
do
like
that.
put a playlist together for a character?
This is actually not always, but there are like songs and music, like I respond well. Like some people do like sights or smells or like, and I found that like songs really help me. So yeah, like I've done it before, but this is the Jenna's was really fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I'm definitely more of like a kinetic learner than like an auditory learner. So getting into costume and like doing my makeup
fair.
usually sets me up, I feel like, for
Yeah.
whatever
No, that's
character I'm
fair.
doing. Because I feel like actors come from all different ways with how they do characters. I feel like I usually come from a physicality route.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I get that completely.
Well, I do lip trills.
So real.
Fair. Hey.
So real.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love a lip trill.
I mean, yeah, whatever works.
Yeah, that's what I
Desperate lip trills
do.
before we go home.
Literally,
feel
those.
that.
Those are my favorite.
I love a lip
And
trill.
sometimes I remember to drink tea, and medicine ball from Starbucks is my
I
favorite
love the medicine
ritual.
ball. You introduced
It's
me to
so
those. They're
good.
so
I've never had.
yummy.
You know, but medicine ball, I don't feel like does it justice.
No, the name, yeah.
It makes it sound like it's like
But it
Yeah,
It
it
makes it
tastes
sound
like
like
cough
Pepto-Bismol,
syrup, but
in
it's
my opinion.
wonderful.
tea and
Yeah.
I order it and I say honey citrus mint tea, and that sounds better than medicine ball.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you get it with peach juice,
Yes,
right?
that's the cheat code, y'all. You get it with peach juice. Like, I think they use steamed apple juice, peach juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cheap.
really
Well,
good.
I will have to try that.
It's really
at some
good.
point. It sounds pretty good. But yeah, so this is probably going to be an interesting question. But if you guys weren't actors, where do you think you would be
Crazy.
right now? Fair.
locked me in
I
a
think I'd be
room.
a pug. I would just
Like the
be a
dog?
little pug. Yeah, just curled
Wait a
up on a
minute,
couch.
you'd be okay.
Maybe
I
have.
think you'd be
I couldn't breathe through my nose sometimes, but I'd be happy.
That's so real.
Fair.
think-
Yeah.
That's
You
me
could
right now.
choose to be a pug.
Yes, because they're cute and
I have asthma in this life.
You
I
don't
couldn't
like
do it in
pugs?
another life.
Fair. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'd be married with children. Ooh.
Oh God.
Don't go there.
No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know what I'd be doing.
That's fair.
I actually do know what I'd be doing because I tried to quit a few times.
Ooh.
In college, I tried to quit musical theater and dance, and both times I got like majorly depressy, stressy. So I came back to it. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where they tell you going to school, they're like, if you can do anything else, do it, because this life is miserable. It's
Yeah,
not.
like,
I don't.
literally.
So I tried to quit, and it made me really sad.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
not
think
laughing.
I.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, Tammie. Don't, I could hear that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
When you do the, it comes up through the mic.
Oh,
through
that's
the microphone.
hilarious.
Sorry.
No, it was funny because like you were. That's why I was laughing because like you were talking about like how you were depressed and then it was just.
You were playing my sad violin.
But yeah, no, I mean I completely understand that burnout is a very.
I was gonna
very
go to
real
like
thing.
med school though and
Oh.
do something with that, and then I
Wow.
turned to my parents and went, "I'm gonna dance, Mom."
I want to be on the stage.
I want to be stuck.
Hand me my leotard, mama.
Where are my slippers?
But yeah, so
That's why
I'm-
I said I knew I would be crazy if I wasn't doing this because I tried to go to school for law and I didn't finish. I hated it.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I know how to do.
No, that's so real. So, like,
Yeah.
but when people are like, "Oh, like, why are you doing theater?" I'm like, it's literally the only thing I'm good at.
It
So
is.
I'm just gonna do
you.
this.
Yeah.
What's so funny is I used to talk to my best friend because I wanted to be a surgeon for a really long time because I used to, as a kid, I used to watch like surgery stuff
What?
at the kitchen table.
Beck's Anatomy.
I love anatomy.
Dinner?
I love
are so
anatomy, and that has
quirky.
translated to dance in fun ways. But
Interesting.
I feel like now, if I tried to switch to surgery, I couldn't do it because with acting, I feel like it makes you more. This is gonna sound weird. Empathetic of a person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No.
Like I feel like
does.
growing up, we
Yeah.
were very not in a bad way, but just a very like strong family. You know, like you keep moving on with life, and so I thought I could do the medicine route because I wouldn't get attached to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I went to acting school, and now I cry when I see a butterfly.
Yeah. Right.
Your camera's turned off.
Son of a gun.
Did it
You know, we're just gonna live. We're just gonna live with that because I'm wrapping up.
Okay,
I'm wrapping up
in
the
the
end of it.
darkness.
Wrapping up in the darkness.
That's just gonna be how it goes. Because
that.
I just thought that was. I didn't know if you guys experienced something like that either. Where like
Yeah.
going through acting made you like more and more empathetic as a person.
Yeah, because I was
I
a
get that.
gangster. I feel like I still am, though. I'm still a thug. I'm definitely still a thug in my mind.
Oh,
No, I'm a thug for real, but
funny.
yeah. Like, I would have, we were watching the Tonys. You were there.
I was.
We
yes.
were watching the Tonys, and I never would have cried at a performance. I don't care how moved I
Yeah.
was. Audra McDonald broke me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I would have never did that years
Yeah.
ago.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that we're winding into the end of this little interview that we've got going on here, I want to do a quick little segment that I like to do. I have
Is it a
couple-
game?
Yes. It's a little. Well, I mean, it's kind of a game in a sense. It's just like I'm sorry. It's a little segment I have called. It's called Random Records. We were talking about music earlier. I just love to hear like what different kind of music you guys like to listen to. I like getting a wide range of like what people enjoy listening to. So like whenever you guys get into the car, whenever you like work out or something like that, what do you typically put on a playlist like right now?
You first.
There you go.
Always first.
You've been taking.
Untrue.
I was first the whole show. Well, the first part of it. I like listening to music from like the 90s and the early 2000s. And I mean everything. So it could be R&B, it could be hip hop, it could be country, it could be pop, gospel, jazz, like everything, especially in the 90s. Every genre of music was amazing. It's what I have found.
Yeah.
And the early 2000s, it starts to taper off, but the early 2000s were still great.
Yes.
Still fantastic. That's what I like to listen to.
I like it.
Yeah.
I have lots of different stuff. I feel like I'm very typically in the rock realm, like alternative rock, classic rock.
I was going to
That's-
say rock too.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
where I usually end up landing, although I definitely have songs from a little bit of everything. I feel like I need to give like an album or something. Oh, sorry. Got really excited. I Am Earth, Wind, and Fire is such a good album. I
I didn't know you like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I love 70s. 70s is like my huge.
When we were in the car, we only listened to Muse and
I'm in my.
Muse,
It's because I'm in my
Radiohead.
Radiohead phase right now. Like I go through phases, and
Fair.
I'm back in my emo Radiohead phase.
Fair,
That's
fair.
where I'm at right now.
my allergies. My eyes keep watering. You can't breathe.
I know.
What are your symptoms?
Well, that's also just this room. I was gonna say this room is a
Yeah,
box
we're
of
currently
dust.
in a room called The Slab.
Yeah, it's just a box of dust.
Yeah.
I really like divorced dad rock.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain this.
You know, like Billy Joel.
Yep.
Like,
Billy Joel's my favorite artist.
I love Billy Joel. Or
Are
like
you a divorced daddy?
Queen,
I think.
or like Queen is my favorite artist.
Word.
And so with that, I'm listening to this artist right now that I found on TikTok. And his name is Spencer Sutherland. He is incredible.
that
He's
name from?
literally like a modern day Freddie Mercury to me.
wow.
Like his voice.
Does he have a song called Drama?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
And I love his album because it reminds me of Queen. So like I do know that, like, you know, he sounds a lot like Queen, but
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it.
Yeah,
And then
very-
also Sammy Ray and the Friends. I'm obsessed with Sammy Ray and the Friends. She has like a very jazzy voice, and
Yeah.
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 But like right now, I'm literally just listening to Spencer Sutherland and Sammy Ray on repeat.
All right, fair. Yeah. Yeah, well, now that we're, again, in the end of the episode,
Yes.
one more quick thing before we sign off. I do this thing every episode where I have whoever I have on. Shout out my friend's dad. His name's Chad Hankins.
Chad Hankins.
So would you guys mind giving a quick little shout out to Mr. Chad Hankins?
This is for you, Chad.
Mr. Chad Hankins, God bless your soul. Okay.
I don't know who you are or where you're
Long
at.
live Chad
this one's
Hankins.
for you.
Chaz Hankins.
Shout out,
Chad.
shout out to the
Chad.
big homie Chad. Sup, Chad? Keep it gangster. Keep it true.
Long live
Fantastic.
Chad.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on this
Hey,
episode.
I'd also like to give a shout out to my mama.
Yeah.
And my mama.
I was going
And
to say,
I'd like to say hi to my mom.
well,
The camera's not even on.
I love you, Mom.
In that case, hello, Mom.
I love my mom.
But yeah, do you guys want to plug any of your like social media, any upcoming projects, real quick before we sign off?
I don't do anything on my social media.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just recently started posting on my social media and trying to be good about it.
That's fair. Also fair.
I'm on Instagram.
Hey.
Kenz Henderson. Kenzie Henderson. Just like it sounds.
I guess mine's Beck_Hyde.
Yes.
01.
And as far as future projects go, if anyone out there wants to cast me,
I gotta say,
I'll be in their future
all yours,
project.
baby.
Well, my Instagram is tharris722. That's my birthday if anybody wants to send me a gift on July 22nd.
Wait, mine's July 23rd.
Hey!
That's amazing.
Cusp babies.
That's so cool.
Adorable.
So yes, July 22nd, and my next project, is Waitress.
Shut up.
Yes.
You're doing another one?
I'm doing another one at Timberlake Playhouse.
Becky, are you crazy? What?
I am. Hey, you gotta get paid, man.
Fair. Yeah, that's
But
fair.
yeah, I'm doing Waitress.
Again,
This-
that's amazing. I'm so jealous.
This is my third time playing Becky in a row.
Wow.
She's insane.
So I'm going to Timberlake Playhouse
booked in
in Mount Carroll, Illinois. If anybody wants to come check me out.
That's amazing. I
Thank
didn't know this.
you.
Congrats.
Well, thank you guys again for coming on to the episode.
Thank you, Ethan Ox.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Stage Right, Ethan.
You're welcome. Yeah, this has been episode 81 of the Random Banter podcast. I've had Kenzie, Beck, and Tammie on the episode. Come see Waitress this coming weekend in Morgantown, West Virginia. If anyone wants to, come see it. It's going to be great. Runs until Sunday. And yeah, thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Thank
Come
you.
have some pie.
bye.
Bye.
Yay, good job.